He's the president of Russia, and possibly the richest man in the world. Vladimir Putin's wealth is shrouded in secrecy, tied to billion-dollar estates, hidden offshore accounts, and a web of powerful allies. But how did a former KGB agent rise to become a geopolitical giant and amass an alleged fortune greater than most monarchs and tech tycoons? This is the story of power, mystery, and money. The world's richest president, Vladimir Putin. Alleged fortune beyond belief. When it comes to jaw-dropping wealth, few names spark as much mystery and controversy as Vladimir Putin. Unlike traditional billionaires who climb the Forbes list with IPOs and startups, Putin's wealth is hidden beneath layers of political power, proxies, and opaque financial trails. Though officially, his salary hovers just under $150,000 a year, numerous reports allege his true net worth could range anywhere from $70 billion to as high as $200 billion, which would place him above Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos on any rich list, if transparency existed. Investigative journalist Bill Browder, once Russia's largest foreign investor, openly claimed in front of a U.S. Senate committee that Putin had amassed over $200 billion through state corruption, kickbacks, and offshore accounts. That number alone, if true, would make Putin the richest man on the planet, not just the richest president. Palaces, yachts, and private theaters. Want to see where this alleged wealth shows up? Look no further than the now infamous Putin Palace on the Black Sea, a $1.3 billion mega mansion reportedly built for his personal use. Leaked videos and drone footage show an Italian-style palace with a private theater, underground ice rink, vineyards, and a hookah lounge fit for a Bond villain. The property was exposed by opposition leader Alexei Navalny in a bombshell 2021 documentary that racked up millions of views before being banned in Russia. That's not all. Putin is also rumored to enjoy access to a fleet of luxury yachts, including the 459-foot Scheherazade, valued at over $700 million, docked in Italy before sanctions froze it. Another one, Graceful, was hastily moved out of German waters just as the Ukraine invasion began. These vessels feature opulent spas, gold-plated interiors, and even anti-aircraft defense systems. It's luxury at a level that rivals royal families. And then some. The oligarch web, a shadow wealth network. One of the most strategic moves of Putin's reign has been surrounding himself with loyal oligarchs, billionaire businessmen who owe their empires to their allegiance to the Kremlin. Men like Roman Abramovich, Gennady Timchenko, and Igor Sechin didn't just get rich during Putin's presidency, they flourished because of it. In turn, many Western analysts believe that these oligarchs act as proxies, holding assets and cash on Putin's behalf to keep his name off the books. The late Boris Nemtsov, a former deputy prime minister turned critic, once said, "There is no such thing as a Russian oligarch who's rich and independent. If he's rich, he's close to Putin, period." These oligarchs are often awarded lucrative government contracts, massive state-controlled industries, and favorable legislation, effectively allowing Putin to tap into an economic empire without direct ownership. Think of it as the Russian version of a trust fund, but run through oil pipelines and state tenders. Oil, gas, and control of the economy. Russia's economy is fueled by its vast reserves of natural gas and oil, and no one understands this power better than Putin. As former head of the FSB and then president, he has managed to intertwine state energy giants like Gazprom, Rosneft, and Lukoil with his own political survival. Control over these enterprises equals control over billions, if not trillions, of dollars in resources. While Putin may not own Gazprom outright, his influence over executive appointments, board decisions, and foreign deals allows him to leverage these companies like a billionaire CEO, minus the shareholders. Critics argue that Putin uses Russia's energy dominance not just for profit, but as a geopolitical weapon, turning off gas to Europe, raising global oil prices, and pressuring neighbors like Ukraine. That level of control can't be bought. It's power and wealth earned through political muscle. Lavish lifestyle disguised by simplicity. In public, Putin maintains the appearance of a minimalist. He wears simple suits, sports a modest wristwatch occasionally, and claims a modest income on government forms. But the gap between public image and private indulgence couldn't be wider. Leaked documents and whistleblower reports tell a different story of secret homes, exotic cars, expensive art collections, and rare animals housed in private zoos. One example, a $500,000 Patek Philippe watch spotted on his wrist in several photos. Another, his use of an elite aviation fleet, including a custom Ilyushin YAR-96 jet with a gold-plated toilet and an airborne office. And while the Kremlin denies many of these details, it often does little to disprove them either, counting on intimidation and censorship to keep the truth in check. Financial cloaking and offshore havens. The Panama Papers, Pandora Papers, and multiple international leaks have hinted at offshore accounts and complex financial webs allegedly tied to Putin's inner circle. These documents reveal properties in Monaco, shell companies in the Virgin Islands, and slush funds moved through Swiss banks and Cypriot firms. None are in Putin's name, of course, but many are tied to close friends, family members, or trusted advisors, suggesting a level of influence that goes well beyond coincidence. One of the most striking examples involves Sergei Roldugin, a cellist and longtime friend of Putin who was exposed in the Panama Papers for managing billions in offshore wealth. A cellist with billions? It's widely believed Roldugin was simply a front, managing funds for someone far more powerful, Putin himself. Global sanctions and a shrinking window. With the war in Ukraine, the West struck back. Sanctions from the US, UK, and EU have targeted Putin's circle, freezing yachts, seizing villas, and choking off access to international banking. But despite these moves, Putin remains insulated. His inner circle still has access to wealth, luxury, and, more importantly, the machinery of state power. Sanctions may have slowed the opulence, but they haven't ended it. If anything, they've made Putin's wealth even more elusive. Now, it's not just about hiding money. It's about surviving in a world that's trying to shut you out. And as long as he controls Russia, he controls the levers that fund his fortune. Whether myth or fact, Putin's rumored riches reflect more than personal gain. They symbolize a system built on secrecy and control. His wealth may never be fully confirmed, but his grip on Russia and his place in global history is undeniable. Like, subscribe, and tell us, is Putin the richest man alive, or just the most untouchable?